Hello, we're trying to get ready to work problem 1. This is in lesson 9-1 of your Geometry Part 2 textbook found on page 545 and 546. The actual problem is on there, but I wanted to show you this real quickly. On the previous page, it's going to go into great detail telling you what a transformation is. And there's several kinds of transformations that we have. One of them is called a flip. Sometimes we refer to that as a reflection, where you're literally just flipping one thing onto the other, and they're using dominoes as an idea. The other one is if you just simply slide it, you're taking this and you're sliding it straight down. The third kind of transformation that we'll look at is where it's rotating. You literally take this and you rotate it around so that it looks like this. And then the fourth one is when you enlarge something or decrease it in some way. That's called a dilation. Now, the original image is going to be referred to in this particular chapter as the pre-image. So I don't know why they didn't just stick with calling it the original image, but they call that the pre-image. And then the resulting figure after you've done whatever you're going to do, flip it or slide it, becomes the image. Now, if it preserves distance and angle measure, that means if it stays the same size and the same shape, then we call that rigid motion. So, let's flip over and look at problem number 1 here. Does the transformation at the right appear to be a rigid motion? Explain. Well, if I look at that and then that, notice that this is much bigger. It does have the same shape as the original one, but this one is much bigger than this one. And so that's why the answer here says no, a rigid motion preserves both distance and angle measure. Now, I think it's probably preserving the angle measures here, the corners, staying 90 degrees, but it is not the same size, which means it's not preserving distance. The distance between the vertices of the image are not the same as the corresponding distances in the pre-image. So notice the second picture was called the image. The original one is referred to as the pre-image. Okay. Now let's look at the got it. Does the transformations appear to be a rigid motion? Remember, rigid just means do they stay the same size and the same shape? Yes. There's two things. This could be flipped. If I took this one and literally created a line right here, and I flipped it over there, I would end up with this image. Or I could take this one, kind of rotate it around that center point right there. I could rotate that around, and it would look like its image. So either way, rigid motion simply means did it stay the same size and same shape. So for A, we're going to say yes, it does. And then for B, this is your original image right here. It looks as though it's been reflected or flipped over and then slid up to its new position. But if you look carefully, this is the same size and shape as this one. It might have gotten flipped, it might have gotten slid, but the bottom line is it kept its same size and same shape. So that is called rigid motion. Okay? Hope that was helpful.